Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it is. It's Tuesday. 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 It's time. It is time. Hey, Quentin. Good morning, Natsuki. How's it going? So today, I was thinking, Eternal Lady. Good morning or good evening. I don't know where you are. Today, I was thinking, I want to do sci-fi characters. So, for the time being, there's a new competition on ArtStation. Hey, Zutin. There's a new competition on ArtStation, which is like underwater something. I'm not gonna have time for it. It's just started yesterday. So whoever want to join, you should join, participate, and try to level up your skills. It's really really good to do. Really great for being competent under stressful situations and so on. Um, I know I won't have spare time, so I won't join. I won't try. Um, all right, Eternal Lady, that's great. Hey, good morning, Zutin and Ohms. I said Zutin already, but whatever. You're cool, so you hear it twice. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do um, is kind of shadow it a bit. I think I'm gonna design the sci-fi stuff. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do aquatic, maybe like aquatic inspired, or try to have it feel like in vacuum, like in space, or come up with some technology around it. I don't know, but I'm not gonna have time to um, participate in the competition. I don't want to hang my code up, so to speak, at the deadline, saying, "Oh, it's just shitty sketches." It's great for exposure because usually people enjoy my concepts, but yet again another competition I have to withdraw from because there isn't enough time, and I know I don't have enough time. It's not gonna have enough time, but you all should try. If you don't have any like paying gigs, so you're fully booked, and if you have spare time, uh, do contribute to it, or any of the other competitions that's out there. So that's my plan for the moment, is to do sci-fi stuff. So let's start. First today, I think I'll just uh, mess around with just making some sci-fi characters. See what comes out. Always what I really I'm like impressed by Marko Djurdjevic. You all know Marko Djurdjevic. He's a staple. Is his ability to have really cool poses. I think looking at all his poses, like they're not very special. They're not like super dynamic or pushed to an extreme, but there's in each and every pose, between each pose, like a character, there's subtle differences, and they're never posed the same, which I think is a really really cool thing, and that's something I've always looked up to Marco about, is that his ability to have these dynamic poses constantly, like they're always subtly different, always some like small rotation of some limb or something that just feels so natural. Hey, Bazari. Good morning. Hey, Miller. Good morning. Cool sci-fi panda, by the way. That was you, right? If I remember correctly. Hey, Chilstrand, how's school? Or is school a little bit too weird to say? How's uni? Maybe it's more grown-up way of saying rather than school. How's first grade? How's PE? Atski. Yeah, the what Marco can do with poses is crazy. But he's done poses thousands and thousands of times, and always pushed the poses. I think he never like we're just happy with one pose. And I think Marvel was his like baptism through fire, where he really, really had to push it and really do these super exaggerated poses, because it's comic and it's American cartoon or a comic, and it gotta be like expressive, right? Eye catching. So I think he really got learned some massive lessons from that. I think, and also that's what's really, really, I think. I mean, he was already good. Don't get me wrong. He was crazy good already, but I think he had to apply himself for all those years he was doing Marvel comics. What was it, 10 years of Marvel comics or something? Hey, Bruno Romanos. Chilstrand, I thought you were also one of those in uni, aren't you? Or was it just Kuru and Lou Rib? Huh. My apologies. I thought you also weren't. Hmm. Oh well. Or did you go to uni and you're finished? Why do I think that you had something to do with? No, you went to Hurri, right? Hey, Louis the Awesome. Ah, right, there we go. No, that explains. That explains it. That explains it. Coffee stain. Those are my old uni mates, I think. Or I knew them at least. People started Coffee Stain. There's something about this dirty brush that I absolutely love, like sketching with, and you can really like get a lot of suggestive lines with it, and it's something always enjoyed. I was looking, on Facebook, you always get this. This happened a year ago, kind of flashback uh, notification right from Facebook. and and because I do my warm-ups, all I do every day is just get a notification about, oh, you drew this a year ago. Not very interesting for me, and I never share it. Uh, but those legs are horrible. But what I wanted to say was that it's interesting to see um, what I drew a year ago, and the different styles and so on. And it's really enjoyable. Personally, you just kind of get reminded of, oh yeah, I drew that one. Oh yeah, like today, I did a year ago today I did a spaceship, some sort of fast-looking Millennium Falcon type spaceship. No, I'm not enjoying the legs. One thing I noticed, a thing I'm gonna try to remedy doing these is that I tend to do a lot of my sci-fi uh, looking like they're biological, um, and that's something. I mean, obviously, it's not a problem of mine. I know how to not do it, looking like it's a biological armor. Uh, but I definitely gravitate towards organic sci-fi design. And some people just know how to do this badass hard surface sci-fi designs, like effortless. And well, that's because obviously is because that's their go-to move, right? We can't all master everything. Um, but of course, me looking at some awesome artists like Trevor Claxton, thinking, "Oh, I can do that," and get super inspired by his world. You know, I think Trevor Claxton, for those who don't know, I think he's a senior artist at Riot or a principal artist. Not sure, but he does some really cool sci-fi, and it's very unique. And his take on things are just you. It feels natural to look at it, but it's not, right? It's unique in the sense of his world, his design choices, his like implementation of technology, and he does it so effortless. He used to stream a lot, and I absolutely loved um, watching him draw that sci-fi. He has a character class as well, I think, with or at least had, I think, with schoolism, which is you know which is cool. For those who don't know Trevor Claxton, you guys gotta Google him. Write him some nice message on his art Facebook wall or something, and tell him Bjorn sent you. But yeah, he does such cool stuff, and and he plays with proportions in such an interesting way, and materials. It was like he does what looks like Deus Ex um, concept before Deus Ex was created. Well, I mean, obviously the original Deus Ex is old, but current art style of Deus Ex is very like I think they definitely used him as inspiration to some degree back in the days when they were doing Deus Ex. Just because he has such a unique take on shapes and implementation of like sci-fi technology in his concept designs. It's, uh, it's very interesting to see. And like I said, I tend to do very like always organic. That's something I want to try to change now with. I'm gonna do a couple of sci-fi drawings on warm-ups. So I was thinking maybe this guy could be aquatic, but also it doesn't really feel it. It's a bit of a stupid drawing. And the concept doesn't have an idea. That's the problem, I think. Now on this concept, I am just drawing shapes, right? I'm not having a purpose of this drawing, and I think it it feels like it to me, like it's just purposeless sci-fi character. All right, you're listening to Star Citizen. Yeah, I have a couple of friends actually working on Star Citizen. Yeah, but sci-fi is something I definitely love drawing and coming up with stuff and ideas about it. Um, Also, I would love to be better at it. it's a weird thought I have. Like I feel like my sci-fi isn't good uh, according to my internal vision of the sci-fi I want to draw. Does that make sense? Like I feel like I'm not drawing the sci-fi my mind wants it to be. Like there's a gap there somewhere. Um, so I don't know how really to deal with it, and and part of me, part of my thought is that that's why I'm going to do sci-fi. Like I want to practice it more because I really enjoy drawing sci-fi, and I have drawn a lot of sci-fi over the years, and it's always fun. Always love it. It's not like a weakness of mine, but there's this weird thought that this is not turning out the way I want my sci-fi to turn out. I'm not in this is drawing in particular as well, yes, but in general, like there is some weirdness happening. Hefes, bro. Yeah. Chilstrand, yeah, I think that's one thing for sure. Um, I think that's also one of the things I think is worth talking about. I mean, there's not a lot of people that's veteran in the industry talking about their problems and the internal conflicts that that we have. You know, we a lot of people when looking on internet, all they see is this final image, right, and not the road to it or the thought process to it. And that's one of the things what I enjoy about these streams is that it's a little bit of like a window into my thinking, and and it's not a egoistic thing. It's more of an educational thing, right? So I want to dispel a lot of myths about artists, in the sense of like these people posting art that's magical. Every post is absolutely magical, and a lot of beginners go like, "Holy shit, that's how he doesn't or she doesn't miss." But what they don't see is all the sketching and failed attempts and things like that. And that's one good thing about doing, I think, doing this stream is the warm up. You know, like showing that there's a lot of practicing, there's a lot of explorations, there's a lot of things artists do to get better, and not only like do home runs each and every single drawing. Hefes, bro. Yeah, I mean that's a good way to do it. But also, Anthony Jones' drawings all look the same to me. That being said, that could probably argue the case with me, but I would say my repertoire is quite broad. I'm not saying that his isn't. I'm just saying, according to me, I find Anthony Jones' drawings all look the same, for good and bad. Hefes, bro, there's nothing, there's no shots fired. It's just my opinion. It doesn't make it true. I just find it that way. He's a cool guy. Met him a few times. How dare you, phone? lately all his drawings that he posts on Facebook, for me at least, all feels like they sit in the same space. And that's nothing bad. It's just not my cup of tea. Ah, fun to explore though. The Titresinmimler. Whoa, thanks for the donation. And why is the donation RIP? Oh, is it towards Anthony Jones? Anyways, fucking amazing. That's a crazy donation. Hard time to believe it. But, alright. Awesome. Now I'm gonna buy a microphone if that's the case. A proper fucking microphone so you guys get better audio. That's crazy. Oh, man. Cheers for that. You'll get a gold star for you, man. It's crazy. Thank you very much, Holmes. Holy shit. Alright. That. Okay. Hard time to focusing now. Alright. Gonna try to see if and cheers, thanks for the follow as well, Reesenmeemler. Crazy, man, crazy. It doesn't say it's donated though, so maybe it's just, I don't know. Good morning, Tinder. Maybe it's just text. Anyways, time will tell. This guy kind of feels like a diver. I'm not happy with the legs or the feet, so I want to change that up a bit. Yeah, so according to what you said, Tristan, about studies of sci-fi, of other people's sci-fi, for me, that's a bit dangerous. Like, I get your point. I get why you would say that, but my problem thought process is Tristan, yeah, that's what I'm changing at the moment. My thought process is as follows, right? I think that the problem lies in this, right? So if you do studies of sci-fi, sci-fi doesn't exist. It's what's it called? A vision of the future, right? Vision of technology. It's imaginary. Science fiction doesn't exist, and there's no rules to what it should look like. And I kind of talked about this on many streams before, the dangers of leaning too much on assumed stereotypes and kind of what people would assume sci-fi is. Sci-fi isn't a definition. Sci-fi is a genre, and genre can be envisioned in any way possible. So my problem, which I've always hated about in the industry, which I've always tried to stay away from, is this monkey see, monkey do mentality. And I'm not saying everything is wrong, that you shouldn't. Of course, it's a great way to catch up of what's trendy. But the dangers of doing that is you are practicing someone else's point of view of an imaginary thing, right? So one thing, like it's the whole thing with master studies as well, right? So you're doing a master study. Um, Obviously, concept art is a bit different because it's a modern genre. Let's say you're doing a master study of Feng Zhu. I mean, obviously, Feng Zhu isn't a master. He's not classified as a master at all. He is a really great artist. Hey, Captain Jetlag, awaken the beast. Anyway, so let's say we do a study of Feng Zhu, of his sci-fi. Sit and look at his sci-fi, right? And go, oh, he did this. I'm gonna draw that, and you do the same thing over and over, like he does. All you're doing is adapting yourself to his shape language, adapting yourself to his choices of what things should look like. That being said, if that's the case, it's a great way, for example, that you learn shapes that you enjoy looking at. And some might argue that that's the way to learn faster, is by defining what you like and learn from other people doing the same thing. Or look one layer beneath what you learn subconsciously, which is learning his compositions, learning his distance between shapes, learning his curves, learning his visual library, and then all of a sudden you go, wow, I can do stuff very close to what he can do. But all you're doing is catching up to his knowledge, right? And that could be really, really good, but it could also be really, really bad. FS bro, no, they won't. Absolutely not. They won't remember anyone from here. None of us working currently in the industry will ever be regarded as a master because it's not mainstream enough. Picasso is deemed as an art master, old master, because he's worldwide regarded as a expert in his field. And you can go and ask my mom, like, who's Picasso? And I can also go, who's Craig Mullins? And my mom will go, Craig Mullins, who? Hey, Miezis. Oh, yeah, this is my cool hat. Translates directly to skills. No, so but that's the thing, right? That's the like none of us going to be regarded as any form of a master. All we can do is try to master the trade. We will never be regarded in public as some sort of master. I mean, internally within the industry, sure. I mean, but they will never deem them as masters. It's just us elevating them to some fandom heights. But if you talk to a producer, they will never like talk about Craig Mullins as a master. They will just go, "Oh, that's a good artist." That's the extent of it. Miaz is, oh snap! Yeah. So back to the topic of sci-fi and learning sci-fi. I think there is something to be learned by looking at other people's sci-fi, for sure. And I think what's important to point out is it's important to look at sci-fi being done uh, by primarily sci-fi orientated artists, like Aaron Beck, right? Aaron Beck, you will never see him do fantasy. he will never do an elf. You know, he will spend his days doing sci-fi stuff because that's what he loves, right? He loves sci-fi. Um, and that's one thing I think I have shot myself in the foot a little bit with spreading myself quite thin, is that I do a little bit of everything and I'm really good at everything, but not a master of one thing. But the question is, would I have as much fun or have as a wide repertoire if I would do only one thing really good? I would probably not have as much fun. And probably I'm suffering currently a little bit from the imposter syndrome, but it's an internal reflection, so go with me. Hey, Captain Boss. Here's this. Hey, Dado, welcome back. Captain Jetlag, yeah, no, I'm not trying to be a world-renowned fine art master. And no one will care about the work I do in a wider spectrum of society. It will never be fine art. Bjorn said with a tear falling down his cheek. Bjorn's ego crying on the inside. FS bro. Oh, I think they did though. I think they did lift my design a bit. To be fair, not to kind of be egomaniac about it, but for me, that does. I mean, it had to be, or it's coincidence, and it has happened to me before that I've designed something, and then another great mind has done the same design. I don't know. It's a fun coincidence, though. So I think to wrap up my crazy rant about sci-fi and my me shitting on my sci-fi abilities, I think what I gotta do, homework for tomorrow in my mind, is to think about a direction that I love when it comes to sci-fi. What's the love? Why do I love sci-fi? What style do I want to pursue? So that's my homework. I can say that doing the Master Chief type armor will probably not be the direction I love to go. I mean, obviously it's cool to design. I've designed power armors and all these things over the years. It's all cool. But is it what I love with sci-fi? So the question is, I'm battling this organic sci-fi direction, right? I'm going, sci-fi isn't organic. I always do it this way. I'm always doing it wrong. Why is it that wrong? Why do I think it's wrong? Why can't I embrace the fact that I love doing organic sci-fi and do it really well, or try to do it better? Um, so that's my homework for tomorrow. Ooh, Captain Jetlag, late to work. Hey, cheers, FS bro. Sci-fi is magical. I don't know. I don't know what I designed today. It became a rant drawing. Um, So tomorrow I will try to have an inner monologue about what is it that I love about sci-fi. What's the point of me getting better? What's my sci-fi, right? So what do I love about sci-fi? I have to think about. Cheers, Dado. And that's a little bit, yeah. There's no fantastical sci-fi for me. Right. So I will give that a thought and see where that takes me tomorrow. And how, yes, I will do a lot of spinning the old cogs in there. Oh, Captain Boss, whew, thanks for the effort to getting in there and um, hanging out with us, even though with a concrete hat on. That's my grandfather's saying of having a hangover, a concrete hat. Tindre, that's for tomorrow. I will rant about it tomorrow, I think. All right, I will lube them with beer, for sure. Uh, all right. Bye, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Good night. Cool. The cool hat is officially off. All right. Enough with this madness. Have a good one, everyone. Outro time. Bye. Bye.